Do the intro, Sandy.
All right, good evening. Welcome to Secrets of the Nile. At this time, I'd like to introduce myself and a few others. My name is Sandy Neske. I own a cruise planners franchise named Out and About Luxury Travel with my son, Nick Neske, who is watching from Colorado.
Hello.
Say hello, Nick.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Nick.
Hello, Nick.
I would also like to introduce another cruise planner franchise owner, my colleague and good friend, Sue Surratt.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Sue.
Hi, Sandy.
Hello. Hi, Sue.
Hi, Greg.
The name of her travel business is Travel Trends by Sue. The franchise name does say cruise planners, but we arrange private customized land tours, all-inclusive resorts, and both river cruises and ocean cruises. So over the last couple of years, Sue and I have been doing more group travel, and we're trying to stay focused a little more on group travel because we see that it's been like really successful for us. So at this time, I guess this brings us to the woman of the hour, like Madonna or Cher, someone who needs no last name. Columba from Ama Waterways.
Thank you. So I'm not really Egyptian. I'm just dressed like one tonight because I did this fabulous trip a few years ago, as you know, and I absolutely loved it. Have such a passion for this destination. So before we really get started, I'd ask you to please mute yourselves, everyone, so we don't get any interruptions. We did have a few more people join. Thank you for joining us. Those few of you that came a little bit later. We're going to get started with the presentation and just again share my passion for this trip. Sandy also got to do this trip earlier this year. She traveled to Egypt as well. So first, a little bit about Ama Waterways, because we are a river cruise company, which really the heart of our business is Europe. But we entered into the Egypt market 2 years ago with a brand new ship, the Ama Dalia. And it's become so popular and so well received that we're actually adding a second ship. And that's the ship that Sandy and Sue have chosen for you to sail with them in 2025. So we're going to go over the program. Like I said, you know, just an amazing destination. I was telling Sandy earlier, I'm watching this documentary on Netflix right now about the unknown pyramid, how they're still uncovering all these antiquities and all these unbelievable sites. And when I think about King Tut being discovered only like in my grandfather's lifetime, I mean, he's passed now, but it was like 1920 something. It's just incredible to stand there, to be amongst this, the history. It's crazy. In this picture in the lower right corner are the owners of our company, Christine Karsten, Rudy Schreiner. So like I said, we're a river cruise company, which is mostly in Europe, but what Ama is based on is really giving you a family kind of an atmosphere when you're on our ships. We're not the biggest river cruise company out there. We don't do a lot of direct mail. We don't do a lot of advertising. What we rely on are past guests that come back from a fabulous experience sailing with us. And we rely on travel professionals like Sandy and Nick and Sue to tell you what the differences are, because although there are many products out there, there are differences among the products. So Ama means love, and we want you to feel loved when you join us on any of our ships. That's right. I was trying to do it, but it wasn't showing. So just some of the beautiful sights you're going to see. What we offer is something unique too. It's a 7-night cruise. And to be honest, it's really the only way to do the Nile, because there is so much and it is so hot. No matter what time of year you go, it's either hot or hotter in Egypt. So you want to get that sightseeing at a leisurely pace. You want to do it early in the morning before it gets too hot. So the way we curated this program is we're giving you 3 nights in Cairo at the beginning of the trip. And that's built into the entire package. Then you'll get on the ship in Luxor. So you'll fly from Cairo to Luxor to board the ship for the 7-night cruise that will take you to Luxor, Edfu, Aswan, back to Luxor, and then Kina and Komombo and Luxor, Kina, and then back to Luxor again with 1 night in Cairo. We're going to go through it slowly This is just to show you an overview. The date they selected is May 19th of 2025. So your departure date from the States would actually be May 18th. And what I like to talk about this too is that you don't need any real extra nights, because when you're flying on May 18th, and what I did when I went, I took a direct flight from New York, JFK, right to Cairo on Egypt Air. I'm not one for, switching, changing. I'd rather just stay on the plane, one plane and go. But that's totally, up to you. If you want to go to London first, you want to go somewhere else and spend a night and continue, totally up to you. We can take care of the air for you. But you'll arrive in Cairo, and the first day is pretty much a free day. We know you're tired. You know you're hot. We're going to talk about the hotel you're going to stay at, and you're going to love that too. When you're in Cairo, then the second day, and you're going to have all of your major sightseeing, and I'm going to show you photos of what you're going to see, but you're going to go to the Egypt Museum. You're going to have lunch at the Mena House at the foot of the pyramids. You're going to see the Giza. You're going to just fall in love with everything you see. It's so spectacular. When you get to the hotel, your cruise manager is there to meet you. Something that AMA does that's unique from the other river cruise companies is that your cruise manager is with you even on the land portion of the trip. And what's important about that is it really makes it a seamless experience. They're there to greet you. They're there to hand you your keys. They're going to tell you, give you your room numbers. You're going to go to your room. That first night, there's going to be a cocktail party. Everybody gets to meet and greet. Then the next day it begins. The hotel, we'll get to it, but it's fantastic. It's got restaurants right there on site. The nice thing about our trips in Egypt as well is that breakfast is included daily, and you will not believe the spread that they put out for breakfast at this hotel. And also lunches are included, because we really don't want you wandering around on your own in Cairo. We want you to stick with us, and you'll also get to meet your Egyptologists. The ships are only 36 to 40 staterooms. So they're small and they're intimate. What we do is we break you up into 3 groups, and you will be assigned an Egyptologist for the whole trip on the land portion in Cairo, as well as the 7-night cruise and the last day in Cairo as well. They will become your best friends. They are so knowledgeable. They all have college degrees to be Egyptologists. They have so much information at their fingertips. It's amazing. So you'll be broken up into 3 groups, and they'll be with you for the whole trip. So the Amalilia is the ship that was selected for your group. It is under construction now. So these pictures that you see, and I don't have many, but they are artist renderings. So we have, like I said, 41 staterooms. It's small, it's intimate. It's got a main restaurant on board the ship. It's got a specialty restaurant. It's got a spa on board, beautiful top deck with a pool, which you're going to love coming back to in the afternoon after sightseeing all morning. So it's really beautifully appointed, and you're really going to enjoy the ship itself. The deck plan is only 4 decks of staterooms. So there they are. And pricing and all that are what Sandy and Nick and Sue are going to go over with you, individually after viewing this presentation. They'll give you more details on the pricing, but you'll see that the ship is brand new, built in 2024, 236 feet, 47 feet wide. You're going to be going through some amazing locks on the Nile River. And I have to say, when I was sailing on the Nile, it's kind of like a surreal experience. You look out and you're really not sure where you are. Of course, you're going to see some rubble and, not such great construction around you, but then there's sections of it where you're going to see sugarcane and palm trees, and you feel like, am I in Hawaii? Where am I? And then that one lock that is tremendous, and it's just like it's just an engineering marvel to see that amongst everything else that you're going to see. So 41 staterooms, 82 guests, 65 crew members. And what I love about all of our ships in our exotic destinations is that the crew members are from those destinations. So you will have Egyptian service when you go to Vietnam with us. It's Vietnamese and Cambodian. That's what I love. You're not getting some foo-foo, white glove, French, Polynesian, French cuisine, none of that stuff. It's real, authentic experience. So again, from the minimum category stateroom, which have fixed windows, then you've got what we call French balcony staterooms. That means you can open the door, but you can't actually step out. Then we've got our French and outside. That gives you a combination of 2, step out balcony as well as a French. So larger in size, as you can see, 430 square feet. Then we've got on Jasmine deck, pretty much the same stateroom, but just on a higher deck. And then we've got that one very large suite. I don't know who's going to grab that one first, but 522 square feet. So that's where the party will be, whoever books that suite, okay? All right, so looking at our first day in Cairo, as I mentioned, the first day is going to be not much going on, but then when you're fully rested, you have your great breakfast, you're going to wander out, you're going to get to see a little bit of old Cairo. You'll get to go to the Citadel, one of the oldest mosques. So it's really a lot of different cultures that you're going to experience in Cairo as well. So a little bit of Arabic, a little bit Egyptian, some Christian as well. Here's a shot of one of our fabulous cruise managers, voila. He was my guy when I was there, standing in front of Abu Simbel. So one of the amazing sights you'll see. And then 3 Egyptologists. I'm not going to say you're going to get those particular 3, but they're going to walk around. They're going to have that lollipop. You're going to follow that lollipop for the week, and they will become your best friends for the whole time. So when you arrive, you will be staying at the St. Regis Hotel in Cairo. Spectacular property. You'll have Nile River views. You'll have a spa that's available to you at additional cost, of course. Restaurants right there that are available to you. Just everything you're going to want is available at this hotel. So you'll be here for 3 whole nights. So you'll get to go sightseeing the second day and the third day. So there's me and my friends at the Citadel, at the mosque. And then you'll also go to the Egyptian Museum. So there's a big national museum that's supposed to be opening. It's been delayed many times. This is a temporary place, but everything that will be moved to that national museum, if it's open by the time you go, that's where you'll be going, obviously. But either way, you'll get to see all of these amazing, amazing sites. So King Tut, you'll spend hours here going up and down, and you'll also have the local guides in some of the places like this, because they don't let the Egyptologists do the whole tour. But King Tut, then you'll have a second day will be a beautiful lunch at the Mena House, which is a hotel that overlooks the pyramids. This almost looks like it's fake to me, like a movie scene, but this is where you'll be. You will get to see, of course, the camels are there to take you on a ride. There I am. Now, that is not something that's included by AMA Waterways, but the cruise manager is there because we know you all want to do it. We just don't want to be responsible for you doing it. But the cruise manager is there to get the whole thing going, the negotiation, let's say. The big joke is it's $20, it's $20 total, like $5 to get on, but $15 to get off, because that's the tricky part. But this is like one of the key shots that my little camel boy was 13 years old. I didn't know what was going on. He says, put your hand up. I'm like, okay, I put my hand up, and he got that fantastic shot of me, which I love. So you will get to experience that. There's the Great Sphinx. There's my group having a great time. You know, it's like I said, it's hot. You want to dress cottons, you want to dress linens, you want to have your hat, you want to have your sunscreen. You're going to be out early and try to get you back later in the afternoon so you can cool down. So here's the whole itinerary. So starting in Cairo, you're going to fly then after your 3 nights in Cairo to Luxor. We're going to board the ship. Then we're going to do this down, work our way back up, then back to Cairo. And I'm going to talk about the pre and post extensions later on. Israel, Jordan, and Egypt are available to be added to your trip. So our program is 11 nights, and you can add if you want to, but that's the map. So here's the Amadalia. Of course, I can't show you the Amalilia, but I wanted to show you at least some pictures of the Dahlia to give you an idea. And I can only imagine the Lilia will only be an enhancement of what the Dahlia already offers. So the front reception, again, looking at the decor, it's of the area you're visiting. Beautiful lobby area, local artwork that's on display. The main lounge, of course, there's a main lounge, there's a catch-all room for everything. Here you're going to go for your evening entertainment, your cocktail party every night. Remember, on AMA Waterways, all your meals obviously are included, like on every other cruise. But here, you're going to have a 1-hour complimentary cocktail party every night before dinner. So it's a gathering place. They'll have entertainment in the evening. They'll have, of course, you'll have to watch one night Death on the Nile. They'll have that available here. That's the main bar area of the lounge. and the main restaurant. Now, this is kind of a bare picture. Unfortunately, I didn't get a better picture, but it's gonna have tablecloths, it's gonna have napkins, it's gonna have, all set up for you. It's partial served, partial buffet, so you help yourself, and they do an excellent job to take care of you. In the dining room, it's open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then we also have a specialty restaurant board. It's the chef's table. It's outdoors up on the top deck, but because it's dinner time, it's fine. It's warm, but it's not hot like in the afternoon. Actually, the Amalilia will be a little bit different. It's more enclosed, but the doors open to let the air in. So it's a little bit different, but it's a wonderful experience. Here in this dining room, the menu stays the same all week long. So when you get on board, you'll make a reservation and you'll go dine here one night during the cruise. And of course, as I mentioned, you want to come back, you want to relax by the pool. There's a wonderful pool area. There's canopied areas where you can just sit and relax, get in the shade when you come back, and also a bar up on the top deck. Some of the staterooms. So the beds together or apart, you let us know. Of course, bathroom, safe deposit box. They're taken care of daily. You'll have your room made up for you every day. They do a great job. And of course, the cuisine, local as well as cuisine that we're accustomed to. But I have to tell you, I would stick with the Egyptian food. They do that well because they are Egyptian, remember? So, people order pizza and they complain. I'm like, well, don't order pizza. You're not in Italy, okay? You're in Egypt. So, the food is there, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, as well as some snacks in the afternoon as well. So now we're in Luxor. We did the 3 nights in Cairo. We're flying to Luxor. And I have to tell you, they took us off the ship in the evening. It was at dusk. And you get to this site, the Avenue of the Sphinxes, and my jaw just dropped. It was one of the most amazing things I'd ever seen. Like 2,500 Sphinxes from one temple to another, just sprawled out in front of you. Amazing, amazing city, amazing sunsets you're going to see. While you're sailing along, we're going to do some things that are really unique to Amu Waterways, and that's a visit to Queen Nefertari's tomb. So you're going to do the Valley of the Queens, the Valley of the Kings. You're going to go down into these areas, and you cannot believe the colors, how vivid and how amazing they are. There I am. You think it's like backlit, but there's lighting, of course, but it's just incredible. And this is all included in the price of your cruise. Normally, these tickets go for, I think, $130 a person individually, and not every cruise line takes you here. So we take you to the tomb of Queen Nefertari. Just incredible. Then the next stop will be Queen Hatshepsut. Took me a long time to get this name right. Quite spectacular. There's a lot of walking. I will warn you, if you have any kind of mobility issues, this may not be the perfect trip for you. Lots of cobblestones, lots of, uneven pavement. But this is also an amazing sight to see. You'll walk up this ramp and go into the temple of Queen Hatshepsut. This is Horus. So lots of stories about mythological beings, lots of stories about kings and queens and pharaohs, lots of hieroglyphics, of course. This one, I didn't find this one as amazing, kind of bland compared to some of the others, but it's all just amazing to see. So there's Horus. And then we have an optional tour. So this would be something you would pay extra for. It's one of the 2 optional tours that we offer, and it's a trip to Abu Simbel. So when the ship docks in Aswan, for those that go to Abu Simbel, they get up very early. We get you to the airport because you actually have to fly to this temple. Now, this temple was on the brinks of being destroyed because it was too close to the riverbanks. It actually had to be taken stone by stone and moved up the river so that it would avoid damage. It's an amazing thing to see. It's an additional, I want to say, $365 to $400 per person, because there's a flight involved. So you're going to get up early. You're going to fly to Aswan. You're going to fly, from Aswan to this site. You're going to have a few hours to spend here. You're going to tour it, and then you're going to fly back. If you choose not to do this, you'll just relax on the ship. You'll be able to get off the ship in Aswan, do a little bit of a walkabout with the Egyptologists that stay behind. But it's really highly recommended to do this excursion. And if you're going to book it, You book it at the time, either when you make your initial booking or book it when you make your final payment, because it is limited in capacity as well. So if you change your mind when you're on the ship, we may not be able to get you on. Okay, so just be aware of that. But it's incredible. I have a picture here. This is me standing at his knee right there. It's incredible, the size of this. Did you get to go here too, Sandy? Did you go to Abu Simbel?
To be honest, we rushed our last trip.
Mhm.
So I was just so tired. I couldn't do it. I wanted to so bad, but we will on the next one.
You gotta do it, definitely. So yeah, so this is Abu Simbel, one of the greatest temples in Egypt. That same day, this will be an exhausting day if you do Abu Simbel, because you're going to come back to the ship, you're going to have lunch, you're going to relax a little bit. They're going to take you then to this Nubian village. Now, Nubian village is a colorful, very artsy kind of a village. You will see how people lived thousands of years ago. Amazing. They will greet you with song, dance. The children come out and greet you. I was with a group when I went, and we arranged in advance. We brought school supplies for the children, and it was such a touching, wonderful day. You got to sing with them, dance with them, walk around the village. They invite you into their homes to see how they live. It's really quite spectacular. After that, you're going to get on what we call a felucca. This is a felucca. It's a sailboat that takes you on like a tributary of the Nile. It's a lot of fun. Again, singing, dancing, local feel to it. And you're going to sail on this felucca, and then you're going to end up at the Old Cataract Hotel. Now, this is a spectacular property where Agatha Christie coined some of her wrote some of her book, the Death on the Nile. So it's quite historical. And for those of you that don't take an optional excursion, because there's an optional tour that you can do here, which is a high tea. So if you don't do the high tea, right, when you land at the Old Cataract Hotel, they will take you back to the ship. But if you choose to, you can opt in for this high tea, which I just had to do. It's tea on the Nile, watching the feluccas at sunset. I titled this picture here, Housewives of Aswan, because that's what it kind of reminds me. Me and my friends just sitting there with those beautiful pastries and hot tea, looking at the sunset in Aswan. So this is an optional tour that you can purchase once you're on the ship. But like I said, if you choose not to, they'll just take you back. You can have a few hours to relax, to enjoy the pool before dinner. This is also the night where you're going to have your Galabeya night. So I am donning my Galabeya tonight for you. There's a great gift shop on board the ship where you can buy the Galabeya. It's like an Egyptian themed event where the whole ship participates. Even the staff gets into their Galabeya outfits. It's the same name for male and female, but it's a lot of fun. The gift shop on board sells it, but believe me, you will be, you'll be chased down every town you go to by people wanting to sell you Galabeyas or any other kind of wooden or paper or anything. They chase you down. But I held tight. I was not taking any money out while I was walking around the streets. I did it when I got on the ship. And I think for $35, I got the dress and the head thing, and I was good to go. So that's me and my sister and our Galabeyas. So that same night, the next night when we're sailing along, another side trip, once you're docked in this area, Komombo was another beautiful temple that we went to visit. And Karnak Temple, another. This is I think the second largest. Huge temple available along while you're sailing. This was a very interesting thing. We're sitting on the top deck one day and we just hear, hello, hello. We're like, what the heck? Where's that coming from? You look overboard and there are these guys selling you their wares. They actually put it in plastic bags. They throw it up to you. You catch it. You like it. You throw the money down. You don't like it, you just throw the garment back down. But this picture on the right, I actually took. So this is what you see along the Nile. It's really amazing. When you get back to Luxor, after visiting all those temples along the way, we will take you to a, what do they call this again? Oh my God. The shopping, the market, like we used to do this in Cairo, but the one in Cairo, what is it?
Souk.
A souk. Okay, you got it. So in Cairo itself, it's very big, very crowded. We were getting complaints from people. It was just too much. So the one in Luxor is a little bit smaller, a little bit more manageable. So you can wander around here. Of course, your Egyptologist is with you, but you can buy, your trinkets and stuff. This is on like the last day while you're in Luxor before we fly back to Cairo. You'll also be taken to a paper factory when you get back to Cairo, which I really enjoyed. I actually bought a beautiful wall hanging. They go through the history of paper and where it all began and how it began. You'll actually get a little souvenir to take home with you. You'll get to write your own name in hieroglyphics. It's a very unique experience. And that's all in Cairo when we fly you back. And this is also an exclusive of AMA Waterways. We'll take you to Abdeen Palace. This is the presidential palace. So after all of that history, all those antiquities that you've seen along the way while you're sailing on the Nile, you get back to this beautiful palace with all its, splendor and all its glory. They'll take you through the many rooms and you'll actually have a nice sit-down lunch at the palace. And this is all after you fly from Luxor to Cairo. You'll have lunch here. And then we'll also take you on a tour to Old Town of Cairo again. When I was on the cruise, I have to admit, many people were tired. They said, you know what, that's enough, we're done. So you can opt to go right directly to the hotel after lunch, or you can continue on with the Egyptologist and see more of Old Cairo. Totally up to you. That's my group photo, part of our group, because remember I told you we're broke up into 3 different groups. So that's 20 something of us that were in my group, and the other 2 groups got their own photos, but really spectacular place to see and exclusive to AMA. Here's a shot of Old Cairo. So here's where some of the Catholic part comes into, because they actually took us to a church where they say that Mary, Joseph, and Jesus stopped when they were fleeing. So who knows? This is what they say, but we were there at that church. So after your last night, again, at the St. Regis, you're going to spend that last night there. The next morning is when you'll be picked up, transferred, taken back to the airport. And I have to tell you, Cairo Airport blew me away. It is quite a sight, because when I got back to JFK, I thought like, geez, we're in a third world country. It was such a mess. The luggage, the guys are there to help you. They want to carry your stuff. They want to help you. It's just so modern. When I got to JFK and there's luggage is coming off the ramp, piled one on top of the other, like how are you supposed to get your bag when it's the top one? Here, it sees luggage coming off, it stops. If there's a piece of luggage in front of it, and then it waits for a clear spot, then it drops it. Amazing, amazing place to see. So we'll talk quickly about the optional land packages. So the full 11-day program is what we just went over. Now, if you'd like, you can do an optional 3-night Dubai package, either before the cruise or before the Cairo trip or after. So 3 nights in Dubai. I have not done Dubai, but I hear it's pretty amazing. To me, I'm more about antiquities. This is too modern for me, but I know a lot of people are really interested in seeing Dubai. So that's an option you can take in the United Arab Emirates. Another option we offer is 4 nights in Jordan. This can only be done as a pre-cruise. So you do 4 nights in Jordan, then fly to Cairo, do the cruise, and then the night in Cairo at the end. So this is a cost of $27.79. You'll actually get to this beautiful place, Petra. And we stay at a hotel that is right outside. You can walk to that area in Petra. So really amazing. Now, I will say on the land extensions like Jordan, Dubai, and what I'm going to show you next, Israel, there we have local guides. It's not the cruise manager. It's not the Egyptologist. It's a local ground operator that we use and have been using and do a great job for us. So Petra Moon Hotel for Amalili guests. And then the last optional tour you can do is 4 nights in Israel. So this can be done only as a post-cruise. So you can do Jordan at the beginning. You could do Israel at the end. And with both, you'll stay at the, here you'll see the, you'll stay at the Jerusalem Orient Hotel in Israel. And in both Jordan and Israel, we will visit the Dead Sea. So I hear this is a highlight. I unfortunately did not get to do any of those extensions when I did my trip. Nobody had the time and I wasn't going to do it myself, so it didn't work out for me. But that's the complete program. The deposit requirements, for those of you that are interested, It's just $1,200 per person for the 11-night program. Now, I'll tell you that, once you put that deposit down, 50% of it is penalty. You're penalized 50% if you do cancel. But the nice thing about it is if you're really interested, you're putting $1,200 down now. We're not asking you for any more money until 90 days prior to departure when your final payment is due. If you're doing the land extension, there are some, the two of them that do require a little bit of an additional deposit as well. But pretty much that's it. So if this is a bucket list item for you and you really want to do this in May of 2025, all we require now is $1,200 per person to hold your spot and to be able to pick your stateroom and say, this is the cabin I want on the deck I want. So we're going to open it up for questions. There are a few questions typed in, I think. Hold on. Let me take a look. Let's see. Oh, hey, thanks for hosting. That was from Kirk. Sue, amazing. I'll be doing that. I don't know which one. And then, okay. And then that's it.
IT I'll be doing.
Oh, okay. Got it. So I guess you can unmute yourself if you have questions for myself, for Sandy, Nick, or Sue. Like I said, Sandy and Nick have both done this trip as well. I will say that on the Facebook invitation, they were talking about the balloon ride, which looked amazing. I did not get to do that. That is not something that AMA offers, but Sandy with her connections can have that arranged for you while you're there as well. Nicole has a question, is how much is the trip in its entirety? Nicole, if you mean just the Cairo and Egypt, or with the Israel, Jordan, or any of that?
Let's just go with the cruise.
The 7-night cruise with the pre and the post Cairo, because that you have to do. The Cairo has to be purchased.
Okay.
Okay, so Sandy or Sue, do you have that available to you right now?
Well, it depends on what category you're going to select. If you would like to do I think it's the CB category.
I can go
I think
back
it's coming up at like 7,400
per person.
per person, which that's pretty good for what.
Yeah,
you're
All
getting.
11 nights at the same Regis with the cruise. and everything. Yeah.
And we can price it out individually, offline. We can, select the cab and go over the numbers. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so also if there are any solo travelers, I know Sue has a few that were interested in solo, and she priced out some stuff for them as well, right, Sue?
Yeah, we have we're holding 2 cabins. Peggy is one of them, and her girlfriend. And so there are, solo options available as well.
But the great thing is, with such a small ship, if you're a solo and you're traveling with these groups, you're fine, you know what I mean? Because you're going to be with Sandy and Sue. So solo, but not really.
Right.
And we went through this, or Columba went through the itinerary quick.
Yeah.
Even when I'm looking at this picture, I could hear the call to prayer. So every, I'd say 2 or 3 hours, you would hear that call to prayer. And kind of a weird story, being in the entertainment business, every time you hear that, the sound was amazing. No matter how far away it was, if it's up on a mountain, in a mosque, you could hear it perfectly clear.
Amazing.
I just love that. And right here, where this is taken is the old Karnak Hotel. And if you go to the right a little bit, you would see a mosque up on the hill, and you would hear that call to prayer. And there's also a botanical garden, which is right to the right of this also, which is very beautiful to visit.
That's cool.
Actually, in Cairo, we went to the botanical garden for lunch one day in Cairo. That was a nice, that's where we had our luncheon before we went to the museum and all that, or after the museum. I can't remember exactly what order, but yeah, there were beautiful gardens to see. And like I said, when you're sailing on the Nile, the palm trees, the sugarcane, it's just incredible. And then a lot of this, just, rock formations. So it's lots of contrast, I should say.
Yes.
Very unique.
Even when Nick was on the balloon ride,
Mhm.
there's 2 sections. So if you're over by Hop Ship Soup, that is carved into a mountain. Yet if you turn around and look, you can see a line where it all of
see
a
the
sudden
line,
turns tropical. Like,
Yeah.
how does that even happen?
Yeah. It's amazing. Really a trip of a lifetime. And you know, and I was talking to Sandy earlier, it's like, I went last year, I could go 5 years from now and see totally different things.
Yeah,
That's the amazing thing, is that they're still uncovering so much. So if it's a bucket list item for you, this is the way to go. It's leisurely. You know, Sandy just said they rushed through it. You know, we took our time. We got time to enjoy the pool in the afternoon, got back to the ship, got a massage one afternoon just because you could. The hotel itself has beautiful spa services as well.
I love the 3 nights in Cairo,
Yes.
Columba. That is a great way to start. You know, you get over your jet lag. You
Mhm.
get to stay in an absolutely fabulous hotel. I mean, what could be better? It's amazing. It's amazing, really. And every time I see these pictures, I've seen this presentation before, the last time you did something similar.
Uh-huh.
I'm blown away, really. I'm blown away. It's incredible.
My own pictures I love, but I don't want to make it a, you know, story about,
Yeah.
myself, but I love looking at these pictures. You're right.
I'm sure.
And even again, where this picture's taken, the ship is docked within walking distance of this. So you could sneak down there and grab a drink on your own if you really want to.
Yeah, absolutely. So if there's no more questions, there's Sue's number, there's Sandy and Nick's number as well, their email addresses. You've all been invited by them, so you're pretty familiar with them already, but I appreciate you taking the time. Sue, go ahead.
Well, I wanted to mention, and Sandy, you can chime in too, but we're looking to have this locked in and have our cabin, we're going to be releasing our cabins on August 15th. So we would, and correct me if I'm wrong, Sandy, is that our date? Maybe a few days beyond that, but we are holding a small number of cabins for our group. And this ship is already selling.
Almost sold out.
The cabins that we're not holding are already gone. So
Yeah,
this is like the minute we let these cabins go, I'm afraid that's going to be it for this particular trip. So we're very excited, and you know, if you have any questions, please reach out to us ASAP so we can get you on the list.
Hey, Sandy, it's Greg. Just let us know what the differences are. Like I said, if there's any differences in the cabin cost, all right?
Are you satisfied with the CB category?
Well, I don't remember which one that one was.
That was the one that when we were chartering it for the whole ship, that's the one we were promoting. And I think that's a great deal.
Yeah, well, which one is, I know that she went through a bunch of, the
I'm gonna go back,
different
hold
cabins,
on.
but, I'm sure it is.
Oh, it's a lovely category. It's
right.
nice. Yeah.
I'm going back to the deck.
Does it have the open door type of one?
Yes,
Okay,
we're trying to get to it quick.
all right, no problem.
I'm scrolling, hang on.
Almost there.
Yeah,
Couple more.
oh, it's going slow all of a sudden.
That's all right. No rush.
There it goes.
There you go.
Hold on, let me move this chat because you could see that, right?
Yes,
There you go. So the CB, you said?
Yeah,
yes.
Down the bottom.
That's on the Lotus deck, the
Deck right
green,
here. So that's the
green,
deck right here.
very nice.
CBs are French balcony. Those don't have a step out, just a door you can open, but you don't, you know,
Yeah,
don't
French
need the
balconies.
step out.
yeah, that's fine, as long as the door opens up.
Exactly.
Yep.
And then you don't have to yell down to the guy selling the stuff. He could just pass it.
Yeah, all right. No, and those are all the ones that you got, right, Sandy?
Right, and
Yeah.
well, we do have
good.
some CA categories. I could put you in that also.
Which
And-
one was that?
And that's on a
It is-
different, that's up
Right,
high.
it's a different deck, but it's exactly the same cabin,
It's higher up.
That's a French
size,
balcony too.
everything.
Yeah.
So it's just like, yeah,
It's up to you if you want it, but there's no real reason to have that.
Right.
yeah, but like I said, they still have the same thing where you just open up the door and that's it.
Yes.
right? Yeah, that's fine.
Cabin's the same, just a different deck.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just higher up. Yep, that's it.
Which side is better?
That doesn't matter.
Both sides. When
Yeah.
that ship pulls up to different villages in that, you're docked right within
Yeah.
footsteps.
Yeah, no, I'm just joking around, so. You wouldn't see on
But on
one way,
both
you see on the
sides.
other way,
Yeah.
so,
That's true.
yeah, all right, not a problem. It sounds good.
But if you guys also, if you know anybody who might like to join you, or you know, you friends or family that might want to watch the presentation, we're gonna be sending it out. Again, we'll have a link so that you can watch it again. You can share it with friends and family, and you know, I think
Yeah, Sandy, send me the link, because I had talked to, two different couples, and they said, yeah, they're might be interested. So,
I have other folks too, and it sounds weird, and Sue and I are not pushy salespeople, but
Right.
we did change our contract a little bit, how we chartered the ship, but we do know that most of this ship is already sold out on this date. Can you believe it? Crazy, right?
yeah, like I said, so just send me the link, this way I can forward it
To them.
to the two other couples that said they may be interested, all right?
But what we're doing now is we're putting our guests into those rooms before we release them
Right.
on.
Yeah,
August
I understand, yeah.
Oh, and I forgot to mention, I'll be throwing in an extra $100 per person onboard credit. So you could spend that on the gift shop to buy your Galabea.
There you go.
Do guys wear dresses too?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
still have mine in the closet.
Sandy, what is the single supplement for this trip?
So why can't, you can answer that one, right?
I can, let me see how quickly I can find it. Hang on.
Or an estimate.
Yeah.
I think we had it.
Yeah, I have it.
Sandy, who was it that asked that question? Just in case
It's
you.
Laura.
Laura, okay, thanks, Laura.
So we have an early bird booking discount of 5% that we were going to include. So
Yeah.
we have some perks with that. And
Now Laura, she also went with us when we went in January.
Oh,
I did. It was fabulous. Loved it.
I kept dreaming about it for like a solid month after we returned.
Oh yeah. And you're right, Sandy. We were kind of rushed. I mean, it was a good introduction, but there's definitely more that I want to go back and see.
see,
Yes.
that's what's amazing, Laura. It's a place you can go back to. It's just incredible. I love
Yeah.
it so much. I really want to add that Jordan though. If I do it next time, I'm definitely doing that. I feel like I'm going all that way and missing that unbelievable sight of Petra.
it's something like $11,000 for the single with the 5% early booking discount. The reason I don't have the exact number is because I had some additional numbers on there for some other things that my clients are doing, but it's something like that.
What was the
It's-
category, Sue?
That was a CB category.
Okay, so you can get it, Laura, if you wanted to get it lower, you can get one of the E's at a solo supplement. You know,
Okay.
Right.
If you want to get a lower price. You got some E's you're holding, Sue and Sandy?
I don't think we're holding any. E's.
No,
Ah.
we
Yeah.
only took the balconies.
Okay, so we'd have to get outside of your block for that.
Right.
And
And
the
I
ship
think-
is mostly sold out. That's the
Probably
problem.
a couple left, yeah.
Yeah. 11,000 sounds like, it sounds pretty high.
Well, because you're paying basically,
Two
you're paying
people.
for 2 people.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
It's like
Thank you.
1.5. But she could check if there's an E available for a solo. Okay, so, Sandy?
Okay.
Outside the block.
Any other questions?
And keep in mind too, you have not only your 7-day cruise, but you have your 4 nights
And,
pre and post, 3 nights pre, 1 night post. And then you also have your inter-Egypt air included in that price. So really, when you break it down that way, it's, it's a long, a lot, it's 7,
Palatable, yeah.
11 nights with air in inter-Egypt air. So if
And, the
that-
last- and while you're speaking of air, I'll also mention, let Alma do the visas for you. There's a fee of $35, but it's easy. Once you arrive in Cairo, your cruise manager will meet you, plop that visa right in your passport, and you're good to go. Really makes it easy. It really is very, very convenient.
Yep.
Okay,
All right.
thank you all so much for joining tonight. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you,
All right,
Columba.
thank
for
you.
that
Thank
wonderful
you.
Presentation.
Thank
And all
you.
our guests.
Thank you.
Hope to talk to you all soon.
Bye.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks, Columba.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.